There is so much magic on email. Oh my God, there is so much magic that happens on email. How you're able to talk to a group of people and build community. Oftentimes we think email is just about selling something. No, it is an amazing opportunity to connect with people. And today on the podcast, we're going to talk about it. Welcome back to another episode of the Keenya Kelly podcast. I am so excited that you're here with me. Listen, I have been seeing all of you all downloading the episodes, watching on YouTube, and also listening on the podcast. And I just want to say thanks. I always say that, but I'm really thankful because you value anything that I have to offer by letting me be in your ears or on your screens. And so thank you so much. So today, as you know, we're going to be talking about building a community through email marketing. Now, if you've been following along on this podcast or following me on social media, you know I am always talking about building an email list. And one of the reasons is because, if you're using social media as a way to market, those platforms, we don't own them. We don't own our followers. We don't control who can see our content by any means. Even if we pay for it, we cannot guarantee that all 100,000, 200,000 of our followers are going to see our content, even if we pay for it. But if we use email marketing, we can guarantee that if we have all of them on email, that all of them can get a notification as long as you're not in spam. Rest in peace to some of my emails that continue to go to spam. So if you're listening to this or watching to this, check spam. I may be in there. Go in there, mark not spam. Anyway, I digress. But as it pertains to building a community, okay. So one of the things to know is this, that when I look at email, I look at as, yes, I'm able to send one email and talk to my community, but I can talk to my community about everything that my community is talking about. So I can be in my Facebook group and see the things everybody is talking about, and I can talk about that on email. I can share about certain people and their businesses and what they're doing on email. If people are doing certain things on social media in our community, I can talk about that on email, right? I can connect people through email, right? But one of the first things is I can get an audience, a community of people to get to know me. Right. I think that, when we look at email marketing, I think sometimes we look at it as, of course, the place where we can always sell a thing, which is true in a sense. But then sometimes we may look at email marketing as, what would I say, as something formal, like the way that we talk to people has to be formal, because maybe sometimes when we're getting emails from brands, they're very formal. But if you are someone and you're building some type of online personal brand, then people actually want to experience you and your personal brand, so sometimes whenever I know how, I will put a GIF in my emails or something, doing something funny or crazy, or I'll tell a funny story most times, right? And I'm not just doing that just to try to sell something. Listen, if you ever catch me on text message, I talk in a lot of emojis, emoticons, GIFs, all the things. That is my natural personality. And when I'm writing an email to my community, I want them to experience my natural personality and not me. I don't want them seeing just a corporate version of me, because if they meet me in person, I'm not going to be anything like that. I use ... at the end of so many sentences. I use a lot of exclamation points. I have run-on sentences. I have words that autocorrect has to change for me all the time. And I want my community to really experience that, right, with me. And so when I think about you and building a community, the first thing you get to do is you get to invite people that is your community to get to know you on a more personal level. You can do that on social, yes, but you specifically want to make sure that you're doing that on email, right? Because that way, well, one of the reasons is because it lets people, they'll look forward to your emails, right? I have some people who I've been on their email list for years because I enjoy their emails, right? Most of them are not marketing me emails. They're talking to me, they're serving, they're being personable, all the things. And so because I've watched all these people do this for years, and I've watched my own behavior with their emails and how I am just in general in life, I said, well, that is how I want to come across, on email. And so as a result, I will talk to people sometimes and they go, oh my God, I just love your email. And they may have been getting my emails for years, but for whatever reason, they just decide to respond to one of them. And they're like, girl, this is a good email, yada, 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 whatever, right? Like my best friend, we've been friends for 20 something years. And I send an email once a week. She gets them. I didn't know she was opening them, but she opens them. And when she gets an email that is funny or relatable, or she really enjoys it, she will send me a text message and say, that was a good email. That was so funny, girl. I can't believe you said this. Can't believe you said that, did this, that, whatever. And I'm like, even her, this is someone that I text all day, every day, right? Even she is being brought into this community, me, you know what I mean? And so when I think about you, you get this exact same opportunity, right? You get this opportunity to like let your hair hang down if you have long hair or whatever, it doesn't matter, you get this opportunity to like draw people into you, right? But then you get this opportunity to like get to know them, right? Meaning if you start like writing personal emails, then when you're talking to a friend, one of the things you do when you're talking to a friend is you ask your friend questions. You want to know about your friend, right? And so I will send emails that say, what are you struggling with? How can I help you? Are you dealing with fear? What is it? What are your fears you're dealing with? What are some marketing challenges that you're having right now? What challenges are you having with your brand? What challenges are you, whatever it is. And the people that are bold and brave enough and that believe that I will actually see their email, they will respond. And then I respond back to them and say, okay, so you said A, B, C, D, E. If it's too many people, then I will respond in one big email and say, hey, I got a lot of responses. Let me address some of the bigger responses. But a lot of times only a few. And I'm able to respond back to each person that responded to me. And I'm like, hey, this is actually me. This is not my assistant. And I saw what you said. I heard what you said. I wanted to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? And even if it's just 3 people, those people are like, she responded to me. Like it wasn't her assistant. She talked to me. Right. And I didn't do it to like get to sell them anything. I did it because I'm just being a good human, because I want to get to know them, because I want to get to know my community. Right. And so like that is some of the things that we are really getting this opportunity to be able to do, through email. Now, yes, you can do this on social media, 100%, but there is something special about you actually doing this on email. So I read a book called Superfans by Pat Flynn, and he talks a lot about your community, about how when you take just a little bit of time for people, how it creates these people who are like your raving fans. And you're not doing this because you're trying to make super fans. You're doing this because you want to truly connect with the people that have chosen to connect with you, right? You are truly saying to yourself, okay, this may be a little awkward at first, that strangers on the internet that I have never met before are talking to me. I'm sharing with them personal aspects of my life. I'm not saying tell them all your business. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm sharing with them personal sides of my life or my business or whatever. Or I'm asking them personal questions or whatever. And you're like getting this opportunity to get to know strangers on the internet. Yes, it feels weird at first. 100%. Oh my God. Like right before I recorded this, I recorded an Instagram story talking about how I'm working from home again. Like I'm getting ready to move to a different part of San Diego. So I closed my office, my formal office, and I'm working from my home office, and how I am trying to get used to it again because my cats are like, hello, hello, hello. And so I recorded an Insta story just talking about here's what happens at 5:00. When mommy finishes her meeting, they all come inside and they're like, hey, it's time for dinner. And so I just kind of recorded it and I showed them each cat, their personality and whatever. And, that was it. And some people don't care. But then yesterday I posted talking about how I'm having a birthday party. I don't like cake. And should I give people sheet cake? Is it okay to give sheet cake? And everybody's voting yes or no to sheet cake. And I'm like, well, I'm giving them sheet cake because I'm not going to spend $1 million on a cake that I don't even like, right? Sheet cake it is, but it's giving people this opportunity to just kind of like connect with me, right? And I'm like, this doesn't feel normal because I'm not used to kind of doing this, but I'm like, this actually also feels good to just not always talk about business, not always talk about marketing, but to really just connect with people on a human level. And because when I'm sharing my human things, they're responding with human things. And I'm like, oh, this actually, I feel more connected to them because I'm sharing. And then they're like, they want to share too. Okay. So when it comes to building a community on email, the beautiful thing is that you get to write one email, you can schedule it, and then you can connect with the people, that choose to respond. But you also can just share vulnerably or transparently, or your community you've seen online, you're just highlighting them. I saw you did this, girl. I saw you did this. And they're like, they got a shout out on your email, didn't even know you were watching. Does that make sense? And so it's really giving you this opportunity to not just get people to opt into your email list, not just sell them your product and services when you're having a sale or whatever, or not just to promote your podcast, but really to just connect, because people, you're human, you're having a human experience. They're human, they're having a human experience. And, we are getting, we're giving ourselves this opportunity to have this community experience together. Okay. So if you're trying to figure out how do you get started with this, okay, then the 10, 20, 100, 500, however many people are on your email list right now, I want you to write one email. And whether it's tomorrow or the next day, but really soon, like not next week, but really soon, I want you to just send them an email. Just talk. Don't say I haven't been here for a while. Just talk to them, right? Just tell them what you're doing, what you got going on, and how you are so glad that they're here, and how you want to support them in whatever ways you can support them. Offer additional tips that you haven't offered before. And then ask them, is there any way I can support you? You might get a bunch of responses back and you may get none, but ask them. The whole goal of this is so you can kind of get started, giving them this human side of you, and so that they can feel safe to respond to you. And then you literally can start building a community on email.